boys and girls, it's Mrs. Cutler here with you tonight. It's been kind of interesting. I started out tonight, I thought I would do read aloud out with my horses and show you the horses and the gorgeous sunset that we had. And so I was outside and I got my mule Harley to come over and some pictures of him. And then I decided to sit around my fire pit with this beautiful sunset in the background. And I read 2 chapters and then I realized that it wasn't recording. So the sunset is kind of dwindled now, and I'm inside, and I'll try to catch a beautiful sunset for you tomorrow night and let you see the horses. It was so cool because the horses were in the background in the sunset, and it really looked pretty awesome. But I'll catch that for you tomorrow. Again, it's Read Aloud Among the Imposters tonight, and we're on chapter 18. Here we go. When dinner was over that night, Luke slipped out of the dining hall behind all the other boys. Instead of going into the evening lecture room like everyone else, he ducked down a dark hall. It wasn't a direct route to the door that led outside, but if Luke turned 3 corners and backtracked a bit, he'd be there. I know the school really well now, Luke marveled. If I had a note and I needed to read it in private now, it wouldn't be a problem at all. Luke felt decades older than the scared little boy who'd worried so over the note that Jen's dad had given him. And he'd gotten so upset when he read it. It was just a scrap of paper. What did I expect? Luke wondered, would he ever look back on this day and regret getting so upset about his ruined garden? No. Luke had told himself it didn't matter if he ran into the hall monitors. He could just start asking them questions. Why did you destroy my garden? And what if I told you the headmaster? What if I told the headmaster that you'd been sneaking out? But now, creeping down the hallway, he was glad that he didn't have to test his bravado. As far as he could tell, the hall monitors only guarded the main route to the door. He suspected as much. The monitors didn't have to be very cautious because most of the boys at school behaved like sheep, only going where they were told. And all of the teachers seemed to be gone in the evenings. Luke reached the final corner before the doorway and stopped. The sound of his watch ticking seemed to fill the entire hall. Luke pressed his wrist to his chest to muffle it. Then it was his heart pounding that seemed too loud. His ears roared with listening. Was this how Jen had felt the night that she left for the rally? Brave, reckless, crazy, courageous, terrified, all at once? It hadn't seemed right to compare. Jen had been going to the rally. Well, she was leading it, in fact, and in an effort to win the rights for third children all over the nation. Even her parents didn't know what she was doing, but she had believed so strongly that nobody should hide, and she died for it. Luke was mad about a garden. Thinking that way, Luke felt foolish. He wondered if he should turn around, but just because Jen's cause had been enormous, that didn't mean Luke's was unimportant. Like Jen, Luke wanted to right a wrong. Just then he heard the sounds that he'd been waiting for. Someone whispering a muffled laugh, a click of the door latching. Luke waited a full 5 minutes. It was too dark to see his watch, so he counted off the ticks. Then he tiptoed out in the shadows, and he followed the others out the door. Chapter 19. All right, that's all we're going to read tonight. I hope you guys had a great day. The weather was beautiful today, and tomorrow morning we have a class meeting at 9. So I look forward to seeing you tomorrow morning. Have a great evening.